Hello, welcome to week 4 of Nourish and Flourish Through Menopause. This week, we're going to talk about self-love, and that is, I think, appropriate for going through the trials and tough times of menopause. And how about the tough times of life? Always good to have some love. So we will be talking about that this week. And the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation says that self-love is an act of appreciation of oneself. And we do that by caring about our well-being and our happiness, and by caring of our needs without sacrificing our well-being to please others, and also by not settling for anything less than we deserve. So I think that was well said, so I had to share that with you. One thing to remember about your self-love needs is that we are all individuals and we probably all have different needs, but it's important to figure out what those are because it's very important for your mental health and your mental well-being. So the Brain and Behavior Foundation has given some tips on what to maybe concentrate on if you're at a loss. So one of those is talking to and about yourself with love. Also, making yourself a priority. Your self-care is a priority. And how about eliminating self-judgment? It's a big one. And also establishing healthy boundaries and then honoring those boundaries, along with being true to yourself and being nice to yourself. And an important thing to remember that we discussed last week is the forgiveness practice. So if you find that you're judging yourself or not being as nice as you should be, or talking nice about yourself, or talking about yourself with love, use that forgiveness practice to forgive yourself. Because remember, the forgiveness practice is an ongoing process. And there's always something that you can forgive. And then just remember that your first relationship is your relationship to yourself. And rightly so, because you are, or should be, your own best friend. You're the only one who's going to be with you every day for the rest of your life. So we've got to remember to give ourselves permission to prioritize our self-care and make sure that we do care for ourselves first before we try to care for anybody else. It's, as we've heard probably through our whole lives, or at least our adult lives, is you've got to have a full cup. Your cup needs to be full in order for you to care for others. So that's exactly what that means. And then when you love yourself, you are living a productive life. You're making positive choices and positive decisions, which helps increase your self-esteem and increase your self-respect. And it brings good things to you, and it's a positive trajectory for your life. And it also makes it easier for you to give to others. But we also need to remember that the root of self-love comes from within. And often those roots are established. It could be even when we're born, or even before we're born, or even from past lives. So again, we can use that forgiveness process toward our parents or caregivers, instead of blaming them and saying, I'm this way because they didn't know how to love me or show me love. Let's use that forgiveness practice towards them, and then we can move on, because we're going to talk about ways to show yourself love and make it a habit, because self-love is a daily mindful practice. So we need to remember that we've got to treat ourselves like we would treat one of our children or a partner or a best friend or a loved one. We treat them with patience, kindness. We're gentle with them. We show them compassion. So that's how we need to treat ourselves. Oftentimes, when we're critical and judgmental of ourselves, just saying, from my experience, that oftentimes we treat ourselves like we're our own worst enemy. So we've got to just remember to be gentle with and to ourselves also. And for this true self-love to happen, it really encompasses 4 other areas of self-care that all work together. They're self-acceptance and self-awareness, self-worth, self-esteem, and the self-care. And I know I've spoken about self-care throughout this program, but it is important. That's what this program is about, is self-care. So we will be continuing on with this program in the next video, going through the self-awareness and self-acceptance. So I'll see you soon.